look over there. Long black boots and long hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Ain't no girl like, ain't no girl like that. No girl like you. I just want to talk to you. Want to talk to you. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Come on, let's drive around. Take the top down, fool around. Hey! Hey now, would you look over there? Big red lips and long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there.
All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with the Breakfast Club for a Friday. It is a football-friendly Friday. It is August 12th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is always brought to you by the Raymond Report right here at atsstats.com. You can find the Raymond Report just by going to our website right here at atsstats.com. Also, don't forget, you can also be a subscriber to the Breakfast Club. And if you look below the video, you'll see there's a join button. And you can see we have a lot of members. And if you see right below the screen right here, the scrolling members, those are all the people who are part of the Breakfast Club. And if you're interested in supporting the channel and you like what you see here each and every day, why not be part of the Breakfast Club? And maybe some perks will be coming your way in the near future. All right, my name is Ron Raymond, a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's a sunny day here in the nation's capital. It's 17 degrees, and hopefully it is nice and sunny, and hopefully it's raining W's where you are. And today on the show, we got a good show here for you today. We're going to do, yesterday we talked about the 10 commandments of sports betting. Hey, I thought I'd add a new sound effects every time I say the word 10 commandments, right? A little higher power from above, but yeah. So I thought I'd do that. Add some, I'm always adding new gigs and new beauties to the soundbite machine right here. But we'll talk about the do's and don'ts of sports betting, the fundamentals of sports betting, and what the Breakfast Club's all about. It's about education, right? We want to educate the new and the old sports bettor. Like I say, you can always teach an old dog a new trick. And the power of all of us is one thing that's always a beautiful thing. And knowledge is power. And the more knowledge we can bring here to the Breakfast Club in the bullpen and all the members here of the website, then everybody benefits. And hopefully everybody will tune into the Breakfast Club Monday to Friday, 10:30 Eastern. Also, we're going to do our free horse racing pick of the day and market watch, the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. I got some preseason games for you here today. We got 5 games going today. We got a game, the CFL. You got Toronto visiting Hamilton. And yesterday, I think I put the jinx on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I call them the Alabama of the CFL. They were 20-1 the last 2 years, and now they are 20-2, courtesy of the Montreal Alouettes. And yesterday I gave out some Super Bowl props. I'll do that again today. We'll talk about the VPP, the value and percentage play, and then I forgot to do something yesterday. The top 25 sports betting options. I'll give you the top 5 sports betting options today here at atsstats.com, and also I give away my daily picks at bullpenpicks.com and streetcatcher.com. And then we always finish it off with the fun facts right here at the end of the show. All right, I see a lot of people tuning in right now. I'd like to say good morning to Peyton Sports Girl. I haven't seen Peyton in a while. Good morning, Peyton. There's F for Fantastic. He's in the house. And we got Bo Jackson. It's Maine's World. So people are tuning in right now at the Breakfast Club. And each and every morning, once you are logged on, a little roll call here. Hey, back to my military days. I did serve 5 years in the Canadian Armed Forces, so a little roll call here, and maybe we'll have people tune in and just say good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are from, all over the world. That's the beauty about the internet. It could be 3 in the morning, hey, 3 in the morning, and somebody's watching the Raymond Report, or just surfing for their place. But hopefully you guys are tuning in to the Raymond Report each and every day right here on our YouTube channel. All right. Also, we got great members here on the Discord. In fact, the Breakfast Club, they're all there. There's Isaiah. Good morning, Isaiah. There's Johnny Presco. Johnny Presco's in the house. And yeah, so if you go to our Discord, you look in the comment section. If you look right below the video, you'll see a thing that says comment, just or more. Click on that, and then it'll expand, and then you'll see the Discord URL. Or if you go to the front page of the Rain Report, you'll see the Discord logo. Click on that, and all the bullpen people are there after the show's over during the weekend, and we're exchanging pics and comments, and it's a good, friendly community. And yeah, so if you want to join us on the Discord, you can each and every day right here at you just hit the YouTube channel, or just go to the link, and maybe I'll put it into the chat here in just a few minutes, or somebody can put it in the chat. I know somebody's out there, and maybe you can help out the bullpenners. Hey, help out the bullpen people and put it in the chat. And yeah, we'd love to have you on board each and every day in the Discord. All right, so the show objectives and goals, right? Always talking about, it's about helping and educating the new, or even the old sports bettor. And again, we don't call it sports betting. The new word now is sports investing. That's maybe a little trend I'm trying to do. Maybe we'll get that trending on Twitter. Sports investing. And the reason why I call it investing, because betting sounds like gambling, sounds like luck, right? It's as if you got to be lucky. Sometimes you got to be lucky to win. But the thing is, in sports investing, is that you're doing research, and you're really not sharpening your dart or flipping a quarter. You're really, rolling up your sleeves and getting to work. And that's what we do here at the Breakfast Club. Hey, and that's why it's called the Breakfast Club, right? Early, you got your nice cup of coffee, and we are lifting up our sleeves and doing all the groundwork for you guys. And hopefully we are bringing you some winners and educating you on the Rain Report system. And that leads me right into this. And the Rain Report is a tip sheet that I started about, I would say about 7-8 years ago. I've been doing this since 1996, and that's when I first got started. That's when I was on dial-up. Hey, remember those good old days on dial-up? Hey, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I remember it used to take me like an hour just to load up my front page. Now I do it within like one click. It's amazing. But yeah, so those were the good old days. But when parity started playing a major role in sports betting, and if you're a very competitive person like I am, being average is not good enough, right? We're always striving for perfection. And, even though we know we'll never attain perfection, but we'll die trying. The one thing that in the Rain Report, I always talk about, and I went to about 7 years ago, I just broke down everything about the way I handicap, everything about games, everything about results, everything about the line, perception versus reality of the bookmaker compared to against the bookmaker. And I always say, bookmaker's not your friend. The one thing, all these sports books and casinos, a good friend of mine said it the best. He goes, Ron, when you go to Vegas or you go to a casino, it doesn't say bank at the top. It says casino, and they are not your friend. It's them against you. And, obviously, you'll always want to go into a nice, friendly environment, have some fun. But at the end of the day, it's all business, right? It's all fun and games till you lose your money. But it is business. And in the Rain Report, if you're tuning in for the very first time, you're going to hear throughout the show a lot of these keywords: value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability / injuries. And we use a very disciplined money management system. And that's, in a nutshell, what the Rain Report is all about. So when you're watching the show and we're handicapping and we're giving you all the information, everything you see here stays here, right? It's like it sounds like a movie right there. But no, everything you see here is based around the fundamentals of the Rain Report. But what is exactly the Rain Report? Well, it's that right there in the nutshell. And speaking of a nutshell, if you click on the link below, you see that I go in a little bit of detail. How do you shop for value? How do you play the percentages? Here also the performance cycles. Now you're gonna hear a lot of the stock market terms. I want to say that 3 times. You're gonna hear a lot of the stock market terms that I'm gonna say throughout the show. Teams that are bullish, teams that are bearish, teams that are neutral, and I'm gonna also say teams that are A-type teams, B-type teams, and C-type teams. And you're saying, okay, what's an A-type team? Well, it's a team that has a 60% or higher win percentage. A B-type team is a 50 to 59.9. Those are your average Joe's teams. And then your bottom dwellers, right? Your teams that are C-type teams, see you later type thing. And those are teams below 500 in the standings. And those are the teams that I don't bet on. And it's part of one of my 10 commandments. Every time I say that word now, I'm going to put the old thunderbolt right there. But yeah. So A, B, and C type teams, and teams that are bullish. So in Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, teams that are as bullish are 7-0, 6-1, or 5-2 in their last 7 games. And here's the thing about the terms bullish, neutral, and bearish is that here sometimes when you're handicapping, you and your buddies will be talking. Yeah, that team's on a 5-game win streak. That team's on a 6-game losing streak. Oh, that team's on a 7-game heater right now. But when can you predict when they're going to win and lose their next game, right? You can't. The only thing you can control is the money you wager on those teams. So that's why I look at teams through cycle. And I think what happens in sports betting is that a lot of teams will see matchups, right? Today you see the Yankees against the Boston Red Sox, and then your first gut instinct tells you, well, maybe not now because the Yankees are not, as Joe Namath would say, the Yankees are
struggling.
Yeah, the Yankees are struggling, but these are what I call standing picks, right? People look at those teams and they think of the standings, and then their first gut instinct is to go right to that team that's number 1 in the standings, right? Same thing with the Dodgers. Same thing with say the St. Louis Cardinals. Teams that are in first place, those high confidence team, right? High public confidence team, but they come with low rewards because they come with a high price tag. But the thing is, those teams go through what I call performance cycles, and this is where the term performance cycles comes in, right? When you look at a team in the standings, okay, congratulations, they're in first place, but they're not going to win forever. They're not going to lose forever. They're going to have to be a performance cycles. And the way I look at those performance cycles in the Major League Baseball, NHL, and the NBA is through a 7-game lens. And for the NFL, college football, CFL, it's a 3-game cycle, right? So when I look at the micro and macro environment of teams, I look at the short-term cycle and the long-term cycle, and in between falls the middle is the truth. And that, in a nutshell, my friends, is the RAM report. Also, in the RAM report, we talk about player availability / injuries. You got to shop around and look around, not shop around. But you got to look around to see who's available to play. And the reason why I don't talk about injuries is because nothing you can do about a player who's injured, right? I always say in football, you're injured or you're hurt. If you're hurt, you're not in the lineup. And who is available to be in the lineup today? And that is why I call it player availability. As much as I say, the injury report, it's about who's available. I could care less about the injury report. I got to look at the roster, who's on the roster, who's available to play, and that's the team I got to handicap today, right? If a guy's injured, I can't, it's no good to us, right? We can't handicap an injury. Wish him good luck, send him a basket or whatever, right? But we just got to go with who is available. And I use a very disciplined money management system. And if you scroll right down, and I'll show you guys here in the show, like every time you see like the A, B's, or not this one here. Let me go to my money management system. So I'm just going to go, well, you know what? I'll do it after. But A, B, or C type teams, and if they're an away or home team, right? And I'll show you during the baseball report, home teams and road teams, A, B, and C type teams, what type of teams they are, how is their record overall this season, and you're going to be a little bit surprised. And this is why home teams matter. At the end of the day, teams want to win their home games, but they want to win the road games. But obviously, teams tend to win more home games than road games, and that is part also of the cycles. And but here's the units I always recommend, right? If you look at the end of the RAM report, you always see like the units. This is the units that I always recommend. And a lot of people come into sports betting without, what does Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. Well, you need your Mike Tyson right here. You need a money management system, or you will get punched in the mouth by your bookmaker. And I don't think that's a very fun feeling. All right. Speaking of fun feelings, let's get to the 10 commandments. Oh, I gotta make sure I... There you go. Hey, the 10 commandments right here. And what is exactly the 10 commandments? Well, this is something I started yesterday. And welcome back if you're tuning in for the first time. I was on hiatus for about 3 months. Sometimes you got to recharge the batteries, right? It's like a football season, right? You got to miss it a bit. And then once it come back, everybody's full of piss and vinegar. And we're all happy to be back and have a good time. But yeah, so in the process of, during the summer, thinking a lot, you know what? I would love to have more input, more feedback from the audience, and more sharing, right? More engagement, more sharing from the audience. And what I'm going to do is I've already put down my my top 5 commandments of sports betting, and I started off with yesterday. It sounded like a Jeopardy show, right? Thou shalt not never bet on C-type teams in the Ram Report. Only beer and pizza money. Thou shalt not never lay points and spread sports. Take the money or take the points. Good thing if you listened yesterday and I said if you like the Giants, don't lay the points. Take the money line. Perfect example. And guys, that's about a 20% example of when you see these low spreads of -2, -1, -3, and you get a 21-22 type game or whatever that final score was. I think it was a 2-point, was it 23 or 22-20, something like that. But anyways, if you took the money line, you're smiling like a butcher's dog, right? But those are things that I talk about. I never lay points in sports. Spread sports, but you're saying, well, Ron, that's sports betting. Yeah, well, that's also giving your money away. At the end of the day, do you want to make money and do you want to invest? That's the difference between betting and investing. That's a perfect example right there. If you play the money line, you're investing. If you played the spread, you're betting, right? Lady luck. It's there's a balance right there. Never bet on double headers. That's another one of my 10 commandments right there. Hey, I love that soundbite. Follow a disciplined money management system. Beer money and investment money, right? You can't bet $100, $500 every day. If you do, you're probably, if you're doing well, you're probably retired right now and you're not watching this show. But you need to know you got to have some beer money and some investment money, because every day brings up a different opportunity, right? Not every day you're going to wake up and there's 50 games on the board. You're going to find days, especially in the dog days of summer, only a couple of games going. Baseball is a tough, that's a tough gig to make money at, right? Ask anybody. Knock on wood, I did pretty good this year. Never force a pick. That's one thing you should never do. So that's part of my top 10 commandments. But would lover never bet a recent C-type team to B-type team, says Johnny Peresco. All right, so yeah, so give me your rules, your golden rules. See if they make if the bullpen likes it and they pass the smell test, and then we'll add them here to the. I only got 5 commandments right now. I need 5 more, and then later on we can add more if we find some good ones. But I would love to hear from the audience. What are some of your golden rules of betting? Let's add them to the top 10 commandment list. Hey, and let's see if we can get more of these gems. Hey, these are, you know what? To me, these are like gems. These are pearls, baby. As my friend Greg Dempson used to say to me, he goes, give them the pearls, Ronnie. They come for the show, but they want the pearls. And that's what we got to do. We got to give you guys pearls so that when you leave the show here today, and again, I talked about this yesterday, when you leave the show, and this is one thing I really strive on doing the show, is that you leave knowing that you picked up something today, right? You don't want to sit back and say, man, I just wasted an hour listening to that idiot. That's the last thing on my, that I don't want to see, attached to my resume. That idiot wasted 1 hour of my time. I'm here to help you guys and have fun in the meantime, right? Always got to have some fun. And as Rex Ryan would say,
can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Yeah, and we will have fun each and every day. And let me see. Don't chase your money with late games. Yeah, that's a good one. We talked about that yesterday. Maybe, let me see. There's late points. Yeah, maybe, you know what? Don't be chasing. That's the one I need to add. So I will add that one later. Never chase. Never bet a recent C-type team to B-type team. That's a good one. You know what? I do like that one. But it's almost in that C-type category. But you know what? I do like that. I'll add that one. I've been betting totals mostly, says Isaiah. You know what? And that's the thing. Some people, they bet side. Some people bet total. But when you're investing in money, you got to do research. And the time is, there's only a certain amount of window. Especially it's tough on the weekend, right? When you got these 1 o'clock games. And, to me, it takes a lot of time to make sure. And you got to see, follow some movement. You get, especially in preseason football, coaches, and I don't bet preseason football. I'll tell you that right now. It's just that it's like betting doubleheader for baseball. There's just too much going on that day. And then you don't know which player is going to be. The coaches change his mind, whatever, right? So I don't bet preseason football, but I will give you my recommendations on who I do like. Okay, football's back. So my great morning coach, my breakfast club, OG Wheat's in the house. He's here for the pearls. How you doing there, OG? OG's in the house. That's the Discord. Dial up and nobody can get the phone line. Yeah, exactly. Hope the links work, y'all. Top of the morning. And so let's, good morning, Mitchell Watson's in the house. How you doing there, Mitchell? Yeah, so give us your golden rules of sports betting. And I see a couple there that I might add to the, I'll add them to the 10 commandment list right here. Hey, what do you guys think of that soundbite? Hey, when we talk about the 10 commandments, hey, we got a little bit of lightning bolt right there. All right. Also, don't forget, speaking of lightning bolts, let's see if we got some winners in the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest, season number 11. Season number 11 kicks off. You can sign up right now. It's a free contest. I'm making the contest free this season. Win the contest, win the Baron Championship ring. It's a beautiful ring. In fact, speaking of beauties, look at these beauties right here. I love saying it here. These guys won the contest. Hey, wouldn't you like to invite these guys to your Super Bowl party? Hey, crash the party with all their jewelry. And those are the past winners right here at the World Series of Handicapping.com football contest. And you can be like Petro. You can be like John Ullman right here. Nate Jacobson. We had Kevin Dolan. I think Kevin's from the pond next door there. I think he's from Ireland or England, somewhere over there. You got Ryan Braun, and Ryan, he's from Akron, Ohio. Also, Kevin Dubb here. Kendall Magruder was winner number 6. You had Lynn Hernandez, I believe he's near New York State. And then we had Dr. John F. Murray, a.k.a. the hockey guy. Or, he's got a couple of handles. But, Dr. John won it in 2019. Also, you had Frank Browning, Steel City Madman. And then last year's winner was the Phenom. You had Stephen Combs right here. The Phenom won it last year. So sign up today, World Series of Handicapping.com, and win the contest, and you will win the ring. All right, like we always do, we pay our respect to probably the first people who ever bet on sports, and that's the horse racing industry. 1 minute to post time. Everybody running to the window right now, getting their bets in. Get them in the gate. Let them out. They're off and running today at Del Mar. Del Mar post time tonight is 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's 1 mile on the turf. $80,000 maiden special weight race tonight at Del Mar. And folks, if you want the entire tip sheet for free today at Del Mar, you can go to atsstats.com, go to horses, free tip sheet. In the pull-down menu, go to Del Mar. I also got premium tip sheets. We got about 25 to 30 tracks going today, and these are all generated from the system here at atsstats.com. And if you're going to bet race number 1 today at Del Mar, I would recommend the number 4 horse, Sue Generous, with Boz on the saddle. And Sue Generous is 6-1 morning line, the 4 horse. Now, if you're going to bet Sue Generous, I'd recommend the Double Dutch betting system, and that is put, let's say you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on Sue Generous. So this way, if Sue Generous comes in first, you get paid twice. He comes in second, you get paid once, and that is also very, very nice. Horse racing right here each and every day. You can get the tip sheets. Go to atsstats.com. We are not a one-trick pony, no pun intended. And you can get the tip sheet here each and every day at atsstats.com. All right, let's go to the market watch and let's see how. Before we get to the market watch, got to go to the SBI, the sports betting index, and let's see how only 7 games last night. So let's see how we did in Major League Baseball. And let me see right here. Last night we had the underdogs. 4-4. So we went 4-4. I guess, was there 7 games? My Facebook came in there. 4-4. Was there 8 games last night? I thought there were 7. Maybe there was 8. 4-4, 3-4-1 to the over/under, and you can see here on the 7-day average, 57.9% of the favorites, which is a percentage lower of 58 on the season. And if you want to ever see the results of what's came in, and also for the over/unders, pretty neutral. 53.3% of the overs, 46.7% of the unders, and we are in a neutral market right there for the over/under. So bet your full units, but if you're betting the baseball, I would recommend maybe scale back just a bit on the on your wagers. But I'll let you know in just a few minutes some of the teams that I'm liking here today. And speaking of the Bears and the Bulls, let's take a look at the Bears and Bulls report. Hey, I got to get a Bears and Bulls report soundbite. Maybe. Wrong one. Sorry, wrong one. But so here's the Bears and the Bulls. So at the top of the show, I talked about the A, B, and C type teams, and I never bet on C type teams. I wouldn't say never, but if I get a C on C type crime, then I might wager beer and pizza money, but it's very rare that I do. And here's your A type teams. And as I said at the top of the show, the New York Yankees, the only A type team that is bearish right now. That's because they are 1-6 in their last 7 games.
Struggling.
Yeah, they are struggling big time. Houston, they are 4-3. That's why they are neutral. And for the Mets and the LA Dodgers, those are your also bullish teams. Those are teams you can see 7-0 and 6-1 in their last 7 games. For the B-type teams, the only teams that are bearish that I wouldn't touch right now. And the thing is, every time I talk about neutral, bullish, and bearish teams, whenever I do the handicapping, I won't bet on bearish teams. I'll bet B-type teams or A-type teams, but if a team is going through a bad cycle, let them work through that cycle, and then you get back to neutral. A lot of games in baseball, so there's always an opportunity to make money somewhere else, right? All right, so the teams you probably want to lay off this next couple of days, the Toronto Blue Jays, 2-5 in their last 7. San Diego, 2-5, they're bearish, and those are the only B-type teams that are bearish. Teams that are pretty hot right now, Baltimore, cooled down last night, though, at Fenway. And I had Baltimore yesterday in the members area, and you say, well, Ron, they lost. Yeah, but I had them plus 1.5. See, sometimes you got to really, when you're handicapping, feel the temperature. And there was a lot of people on the Boston Red Sox yesterday, and I said, you know what? When everybody goes one side, you maybe it's time to go the other way. But I went basically against the public perception yesterday. I took Baltimore plus 1.5 runs. It wasn't looking good 3-0. When it got 3-3, I said, okay, maybe we got a chance. And it finished 4-3. So, yeah, we had Baltimore plus 1.5. So, hey, sometimes lucky to be good, right? Cleveland, 5-2 in their last 7. They're bullish right now. Tampa Bay, they're back at home finally. Seattle, neutral, and Milwaukee, neutral. So those in Atlanta. So those are your neutral teams on the Bears and Bulls report. All right, let's get to NFL preseason games. And let me take a look at the sheet here. Now, we do have 5 games tonight in the National Football League. And what do you guys like tonight? I know there's some good games here. You got Atlanta taking on Detroit. Now, Detroit Hard Knocks. I don't know if you guys are watching Hard Knocks. I haven't had a chance, though. I do like Campbell. I love coaches that are emotional because they wear it on their sleeve. So I do like those type of coaches. It's Detroit, right? And Detroit, well, they've been struggling a lot the last couple of years. But I do like Detroit. Of all the games tonight, that I handicap these games, Detroit's the only team that I probably would lay money line on tonight. Even though they went 0-3 last year in the preseason, they got Indianapolis on deck, and Atlanta, they got the Jets on deck. Atlanta also went 0-3 last year in the preseason, and you can see Atlanta -1. Atlanta -1 tonight against Detroit. And if I were to play one game tonight, it would be Detroit. But yeah, that would be my selection. You got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. In fact, let me go to my playmaker chart. So I'm just going to go right here. If you want to see the playmaker chart, you go to NFL. Look for the Joe Burrow's picture, and you'll see down here my playmaker chart. And you can see Cleveland, the playmakers. So what you look here is you're looking at the triplets. I talked about this yesterday. So if you missed the show yesterday, go look at the chart right here. And yeah, Kevin Stefanski, last year 3-0 in the preseason. They're playing at Philadelphia in their next game. Jacksonville. All right, so Jacksonville is let me see their playmaker chart right here. Where's Jacksonville? Probably near the bottom right here. Doug Peterson, now the new head coach in Jacksonville. They went 1-2 last season, the preseason. They played last week in the Hall of Fame game. And sometimes people will say, you know what? I like to play those teams that played in the Hall of Fame game because they already got one game under their belt. But it's Jacksonville. Hey, that's all I got to say. 1-2 last year. They're playing at home to Pittsburgh next week. The line is -1.5, and the total's 37.5. And who do you guys like in that one? So give us your picks in the bullpen, and that's what we call the chat board. And while I'm there, I'm going to say good morning to Underdog Picks is in the house. Don't bet with your heart. Absolutely. Don't bet with your heart. Bet with your wallet. Eric Gutierrez, I love seeing on C-Type Crime. Mark Nation's in the house. Hey, Mark, did you like the, hey? Did you like the 10 Commandments there today, Mark? Hey, what was it? Somebody who said yesterday, never, thou shalt never bet on a 10-team parlay ever again. I thought that was very funny. And you know what? If you got a great sense of humor, please post it in the bullpen. There's nothing more than I love with people with a great sense of humor, even if it's sarcasm. That's the best kind. All right, let me see here. New York Jets taking on Philadelphia. Now, the New York Jets, Robert Saleh is the quarterback, and tonight they are facing Philadelphia. Philly went 0-2-1 last year in preseason. They're playing at Cleveland next week. The New York Jets, 1-point favorite tonight on the road. They went 2-0-1 last year. They got Atlanta on deck. And then you got Arizona taking on Cincinnati. Arizona had one game canceled last year. Remember that game against New Orleans? They were 1-1 in the preseason. They're playing Baltimore next week. Cincinnati, a 1.5-point favorite, and 31 is the total. And 1-2 last year for Cincinnati in the preseason. They're playing at the New York Jets next week. A little bit of giving you the look ahead situation as well. Sometimes it's good, right? Because then you can, you start thinking, okay, they're playing Arizona. They got the Giants next week. Maybe they sit this guy that way. Okay, something to chew on, right? Information. Green Bay taking on San Francisco. Look for Jordan Love to get a lot of reps here tonight. San Francisco, -2.5. They went 2-1 last year. They're at Minnesota next week. Green Bay 0-3 last year in the preseason, and they're at home next week to New Orleans, and the total's 33, -2.5 for San Francisco. Now, going into tonight's game, yesterday I gave you the quarterback rotation, so let me do that again today. So for Atlanta today, the rotation, you got Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and then Felipe Franks. Now, Ridder was not the quarterback from Cincinnati last year, and then Felipe Franks, quarterback at Florida a couple years ago. So I don't expect Mariota, and that's just it, right? With preseason, you just don't know, how much these guys are going to play. So that's why there's too much uncertainty when you're betting preseason football, unless you're betting first half or first quarter, right? Detroit, you got the starting quarterback rotation. You got Jared Goff, Tim Boyle, David Blue. So those are your starting rotation in that game. Cleveland, you got Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett, Joshua Dobbs, Josh Rosen. Hey, Rosen, I was listening to the radio there last week, and yeah, I agree with the guy what he said on the radio. Josh Rosen, he's been getting dealt a poor hand ever since he's been in the NFL, right? Not the Josh Rosen that was drafted by Arizona. I think so, right? But never really got a fair shake in my book. Let me see here. Cleveland, I talk about Jacksonville. You got the Jaguar, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Beathard, Jake Luton, and then E.J. Perry. Those are your quarterback rotation for the Jaguars. The New York Jets, Jets, Jets. You have the rotation. You got Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco. Talk about a good backup for a preseason, Joe Flacco, and Mike White. And then for the Philadelphia, not Phillies, but the Eagles, you have Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, a good old stash right there, Carson Strong, and Reed Sinnett for the four-man rotation right there. Arizona, obviously you got Kyler Murray, Colt McCoy, Trace McSorley, and Jarrett Garantano. Those are your four quarterbacks for Arizona. And Cincinnati, obviously Joe Burrow's out. And you have, let me see here, you got Brandon Allen and Jake Browning. So a two-man rotation right there. And for Green Bay, don't expect to see Aaron Rodgers here tonight. But you will see a lot of Jordan Love and Danny Etling. And for San Francisco, let me see here. San Fran, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Nate Sudfeld, and Brock Purdy are your starting rotation. All right, Quizman says Lions -2 in my book, surprisingly. The Lions here. The Lions here. That's when I meant sarcasm, I didn't mean literally, right? They're most trusted, but that is funny. Only time Atlanta will be favored all year, says Mark Nation. Thou shalt not bet preseason. Yeah, exactly. That's about the 10 Commandments. Hey, thou shalt not bet on preseason football. I like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'd put it in the commandment page, but it's worthy of it. All right, so tonight in the CFL, we got some CFL Canadian Football League, and as you guys know, I'm a Canadian living in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I grew up on the CFL, and growing up in the CFL, I love football, right? And some of my favorite teams, obviously the Ottawa Rough Riders, the BC Lions. Remember Roy DeWalt and Swervin Mervin Fernandez. Those were one of my two top quarterback receiver duos. And then Montreal Alouettes. I loved the Alouettes back in the day. Remember Joe Barnes, Jerry DiTilio, David Green, and then you had Cousineau, the linebacker, Tom Cousineau. So CFL, good, deeply rooted in my household. I love the CFL. And let's see here. I can probably talk CFL for like 3 hours. But we won't because we do have NFL preseason. But we do have a good game tonight at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, the Hammer. You got the Tiger Cats taking on the Toronto Argonauts. Now, Hamilton, a 2-point favorite this evening. 46 is the total. And looking at the percentage play, actually, let's go back to the value. I had both teams in the plus money just like last week, so I don't see a lot of value on both teams. That's because both teams are, as Joe Namath would say, struggling just a bit. 4-3 is not really struggling, but if you look at the way they won the 4-3, you'd probably say they were struggling. But Hamilton, I did not see this coming at 2-6 on the year. So if you're a Hamilton Tiger Cat fan, just feel better knowing that you're better than my Ottawa Red Blacks, who are 1-7. It's too bad though. Ottawa though, I got to give them credit. They've been competitive most of their games this year, but no value. I don't see any value in tonight's line. The percentage play does favor Hamilton at 55%. And looking at some of the performance cycles, now these two teams played last Saturday, and Hamilton lost that game 34-20 at BMO Field in Toronto. Back-to-back type game. So now this game is in Hamilton. I'm going to play the Tiger Cats tonight. I'm going to take the money line. I like Hamilton here tonight, and because they're a C-type team, it'll only be beer and pizza money, if that. But if you do want to bet on the game tonight, last night I gave you guys the under in the game between the Montreal and, remember I put that curse on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I called them the Alabama of the CFL, 20-1 the last 2 years, but 20-2 now. But what a great game. You got to give the Montreal Alouettes credit. They came to Winnipeg last night, a very hostile environment in Winnipeg, and they went in there, got the dub. And yeah, that's what Montreal fans are saying today, right? So give me the Hamilton Tiger Cats today, money line. Money line. Take the money line. Don't sweat the 2 points, and let's see if that works out for us here today. All right, post Super Bowl futures, right? So yesterday I gave you guys some Super Bowl futures bet, and I'll do that until the preseason is over. Here's what I recommend: just take beer and pizza money, either $10, $20, and here's 4 teams that I think will have a shot winning the Super Bowl. And if anything, it'll cost you $40, and you can make not a king's ransom, but something hopefully a little bit of pizza money, right? LA Chargers at plus 1,100. I do like the LA Chargers. LA Rams plus 1,200. I don't see who's going to really compete with them in the NFC. Maybe Green Bay. Buffalo, that's plus 615. I think Buffalo team to beat in the AFC. And then Cincinnati, going back to the Bengals at plus 2,000. I think for a $10 bet to win 200. That's a pretty good one right there. Cincinnati. And when I look at these things, I always look at the triplet factors. I talked about that in just the top of the show. If you go to right here, so when you're doing the futures bets and you go say NFL and you're looking something when I look at futures, here's some of the things that I look at, right? Number one, obviously, is the quarterback, right? I see who's the quarterback and the type of defensive player. Is there an Aaron Donald on the team, right? Is there a Myles Garrett on the team? Is there that guy where it's like, franchise player, right? And then I look at the quarterback, the running back, the receiver. Not kickers, not as much. I know there are people too, but not when I'm doing futures bet. But I also look for the head coaches, right? Zach Taylor, up and coming, good young head coach. Brandon Staley, we'll see. This is going to be a big year for Brandon Staley. And obviously, Sean McDermott has been building something special in Buffalo, which I love because I'm a Bills fan. And then for the Rams, Sean McVay won his Stanley Cup. You can tell I'm Canadian, hey? Just call the Super Bowl Stanley Cup, hey?
That's being a jackass.
Yeah, sorry, Rex. I won't do it again. But yeah, so those are the 4 teams that I would look at. and hopefully they pan out for you. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I like the Eagles on the spread, says Daniel Schwartz. Quiz man, okay, lines in my book. Let me see here. Peyton Sports Girl, CFL is my favorite. There's no live betting on games, but still watch every game beginning to end because they are. Yeah, you know what? If you watch CFL football the last couple of months, how can you not love the entertainment? If you get a chance, I don't know if you game's over, but Calgary Winnipeg. I think it was Calgary Winnipeg. It was one of the best games I've seen this year in the last couple of years. The game was in Winnipeg. Really, Calgary could have won that game, but yeah, the one thing about the CFL most of the times is some pretty good quality football. A lot of parity in the CFL. All right, thoughts. So whatever happened to the guy who ran that? Okay, Peyton Swirl used to be on the Sports Gambling Daily Discord. First half for me. When betting, do you lean straight bets or parlays? When betting, do you lean straight bet? Yeah, it's straight. Parlays like a lottery ticket, right? Parlays are like a lottery ticket. Sure, the payout. And that's what, people who bet parlays, that they don't really love the parlay. They love the payout, right? They look at what it could be, into their bank account. That's the one thing with things. Ty Cats, first half for me. Bo Jackson. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one, Bo. Hey, Bo knows. Scott says Steven Dunbar for a touchdown tonight. Yeah, Dunbar, CFL receiver for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Very good receiver. Just got to get Dane Evans to get on the ball. To Hamilton, they need a running back. They need a running game. Not even a running back. They need a running game for Hamilton. All right, let's get to the next, the value, the VPP, the value and percentage play. Let's go to Major League Baseball daily VPP, and I'm gonna give you guys. So we talked about the top of the show about the fundamentals, right? And I said you're gonna hear a lot about A, B, and C type teams and bullish and neutral cycles. So when I handicap baseball games, and so I see a question there. I have a question about your money management. So shouldn't you have a different chart for each sport? Betting on football is different than baseball, so shouldn't be. Nope, no different. It's all about situational handicapping, and to me, it's all about situational. It's all about the cycles they're in. So, short answer to your question, Daniel, no. On Padres Nationals over tonight, says Isaiah Moore. Isaiah likes the Padres Nationals over. I'm not sure touchdown, but I do know you don't need anyone but Ron as his tools if you want to make money investing. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And the thing with our tools here, they're homemade. Like every tools you see here at the Raymond Report, these are tools to assist my theories of handicapping, right? I'll give you a good example. And thank you for bringing that to our attention, Sports Girl. So if you go to dashboard, when you look at sports, and this is, when you've done this as long as I have, you have ideas and concepts and a theory about sports betting, right? So when I think of A, B, and C type teams, right? So how many times, let's say, I'll give you an example. Say the Boston Red Sox, they're playing the Yankees tonight, right? So the Yankees have a record of 60% or higher. So you say to yourself, okay, Boston's at home, they're playing the Yankees. How does Boston play against those teams that have winning records, right? Of 60% or higher. And this is what this database will do. So when I'll click Boston, any home or away, A-type team this season, let's see what the record is. And you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it there on the chart. I'll just take a look. They are 11-12, and you can see the average. Let me see. The average total is 8.5, and the average score is 4.9 to 4 for the opposite team, right? The home team. But let me go back here and let me see Boston at home against those A-type teams, and you can see right here that the Boston Red Sox at home against those A-type teams, they are 6-5 straight up. The over, look at the over record right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the last 9 games have gone over for Boston against A-type teams at home. And that's some of the edges that I do here with the tools that Peyton's talking about, right? And the thing is, you can't be a generic analytical standings, type handicapper where, last 3 games, last 5 games. To me, it's a lot of situational handicapping. You got to have a belief system, and this is what I believe in my system, and it's done very well. We have, over close to 5,000 members now at ATS, so I'm really proud of that people are seeing the value in the Rain Report. And Jim Rome has a show, right? And he says at the beginning of the show, if you don't like the show, give it some time. And that's the same type of mindset that I have with the Rain Report. If you are new to sports betting and you're willing, you have an open mind, and you want to learn, stick around a while, learn the system, watch the show, and then you will start to things will slowly start to connect with this system. And I've been doing this system now for like 7-8 years, and it's like a robot, right? I'm always trying to improve the robot, so that way, again, we're trying to achieve perfection, knowing we're not going to really achieve, but in the process we'll get greatness, right? I know that's a Lombardi quote, but that's the goal here, right? Value. So that's another thing I see Quezman talking about value. So we always talk about value. One thing I learned from Ron is cycles and goals, and he saved me a lot of time and money. Perfect. That's what I love to hear, and that's what the show's all about, right? Help and educate. That is the main thing. All right, so first thing I do each and every morning when I log in, I generate the stats, and then I go to this page right here and I print it out, and you can see I got it printed out right here. Is that I go here because you need a starting point, right? A to Z, but if you want to, if you want to handicap every game in detail, you're gonna be it'll take you like 6 hours if you do it to perfection. If you really want. So what's the objective of handicapping, right? You want to just get to the point, get to your belief system, and find a way. I don't want to say shortcuts, because I don't believe in taking shortcuts in life. I think if you want anything in life that you want to earn and get, you got to earn it, right? I'm a true believer in that. But the one thing I do, and it saves me a lot of time, is that I will print this sheet and then I'll look for A and B type teams and what cycle they're in, right? So you can see, for example, here's Atlanta minus 150 against a C type team, Pablo Lopez. Lopez started the year on fire. Remember Pablo Lopez at the beginning? People were talking about maybe him and Sandy Alcantara might be in the Cy Young conversation. I won't say running, but conversation. But he's lost 3 of his last 4 games. And, maybe in the second half of the season, after the All-Star break, I'm starting to see some of these pitchers break down. Pitchers that I look at the first half of the season, I'm slowly seeing some of these pitchers starting to break down, because throwing 5, 6, 7 innings every 5th day, it wears on the body, right? It wears on the body. Charlie Morton was the guy that I was following. And there was another pitcher that, I start seeing that they're slowly, I wouldn't say breaking down, but, less innings, right? But looking at Odorizzi here today, he's going to get the start. We're supposed to be Max Fried, but, Odorizzi's coming in. I do like Atlanta here tonight. I got a 51.8% chance of winning. I can see that they're 29-24 in the year. Neutral 2 days, which I like. 42-20 against C-type teams. So give me Atlanta tonight as one of my picks. So that is pick number 1. I like the Atlanta Braves against Miami. Pick number 2. How are we doing on time here? I want to be time efficient. I don't want to keep you guys hostage here for 3 hours. You got San Diego, Washington, 2 bearish team, a B against a C, but because they're bearish, we won't touch that. Cleveland against Toronto. Now, when I first handicapped this game, I was like, you know what? Cleveland, I'm going to show you something right here. So what I did, I went into the database and I said, who's been the best teams since July 15th? And look at some of these records and the over-unders, right? The Yankees 14-8-1 to the over. You can see here Boston 13-9, but Boston 8-15 straight up, 13-9-1 to the over. I think Boston Yankees could be a nice overplay here tonight. Toronto 13-7, even though they've been struggling a little bit of late. Baltimore 13-9, 13-7-2 to the over. And I've been all over Baltimore. You saw it last night. I took them plus 1.5. Tampa Bay 9-12, 9-12. A lot of those were road games though, right? They've been playing a lot of road games of late. And if I'm looking at the so they've been playing a lot of road games. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They played the last 6 on the road. Minnesota 13-5-1 to the over. A lot of overs for Minnesota the last obviously in 19 games right there. Chicago White Sox pretty much even 12-11. Kansas City, nope, nothing to write home about. Cleveland 15-8. But here's the thing. I was looking at that game tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. You got Jose Barrios going up against Cal Quantrill. Now, Quantrill and Barrios, two Jekyll and Hyde type pitchers. You look at Quantrill on the year. He's 6-0 at home with a 3.16 ERA, but only 2-5 on the road. Where Barrios, same type of situation. He's 2-4 on the road with a 7.5 ERA and 6 at home at the Rogers Center. So, as much as I like Cleveland in this, because of Quantrill's road record, I don't think I can take Cleveland here tonight. And I know Toronto's got Toronto's been, they just had a bad series in their last series, right? Detroit 6-17. Yeah, they're too bad. I'd really like Detroit at the beginning of the year. I thought they'd be better. Oakland, nothing to write home about. Seattle, 13-10, not too bad. LA Angels, nothing. Texas, nothing. Houston, 14-11. Really good team at home in the day games. 12-1 now in day games. Atlanta, 12. Look at Atlanta, 16-4-1 to the over last since July 15th. So a lot of overs if you do like the over in the Atlanta game. Pablo Lopez, maybe. Miami, they're 7-16. Another reason why I want to go against. Sometimes when you're taking the team, like you look at Miami, Atlanta, 12-9, and then mostly it's a play against Lopez and the Marlins, right? But you're still getting a B-type team with a 42-20 record against those C-type teams in the Rain Report. Philadelphia, like I know this is a perfect example of a standing pick. And what I mean by standing pick is that you look at Philadelphia against the New York Mets. What's your first instinct? Oh, the Mets, Scherzer, right? But look at Philadelphia, 16-6, and they're going through the same bullish cycle as the New York Mets. The Philadelphia Phillies, they've been bullish for 14 days. Same thing for New York. I think if you take a team here tonight, if you like Philly, I think you take Philly in the run line. I think, it could be like last night's game at Fenway, 4-3, 3-2, maybe a 5-4 type game. But if you like this game here tonight, guys, I think Philly plus 1.5 is where you might want to lean. Washington, struggling. There's the New York Mets, 17-5. Hate going against those hot teams, right? Cubbies, 15-2 to the under. So, hey, what goes up must come down. Well, eventually it's coming down, way down in Chicago. I don't think...
Holy cow!
Yeah, good timing right there. 12-6 for the St. Louis Cardinals. I do like the Cards here tonight. I think the Cards are playing some really good baseball of late. Also, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, 12-7-1 to the over since July 15th. What else we got? Look at this. Look at the Dodgers. Hey, the rich get richer. 19-3 straight up. Arizona. And then you got Colorado. And then there's San Diego. So I just wanted to show you that, guys, that. But back to the board here. Cleveland against the Toronto Blue Jays here tonight. I do have, excuse me, I do have the Cleveland winning at a 63.6% chance. They've been bullish 2 days. I think this is a game you don't touch. I don't think you want to touch this game here tonight. Toronto, very Jekyll and Hyde type team, right? 34-21 at home, 26-29 on the road. But Cleveland been a really good baseball team the last month. I just showed you the number. It's just Quantrill. I don't trust Quantrill on the road. And then you got Barrios at home, who's 6-0, right? So I don't think you want to touch that game here tonight. And, I say it all the time. Sometimes the best pick you make, the best bet you make, is the one you don't make. Live another day. Just because the day ends in Y, the sun came up, doesn't say in the 10 Commandments, doesn't say in the 10 Commandments that you really have to bet on that game for today. Baltimore taking on Tampa Bay. You know what? I looked at this game really long and hard, and I do like Tampa Bay. I just don't know if I like them enough to put money on. I know they're coming off that road trip. They're 25-31 on the road this year, 33-21. They got Corey Kluber going tonight. He's 5-1 with a 3.70 ERA at home. I like Kluber. He's 4-1-1 the last 6 starts. I like him. I just don't know if I love him enough to put money on him against a pretty hot team in Baltimore. The one thing with the Orioles, they're a scrappy team. That's the word I love to use in sports, scrappy. I love scrappy teams. I think Baltimore is a very scrappy team. I just don't know if I want to bet against Baltimore right now. And I just showed you, right? They're one of the hottest teams since July. So I think you might want to sit this one out. But, for farts and giggles, I think I do put on Tampa Bay here on my bullpenpicks.com pick. All right, Detroit taking on Chicago. Don't touch that. Let me see here. New York, yeah. Look at that. 2 bearish teams. 2 teams that are, man, not even. I don't know what's going on with the Yankees. I'll be honest with you guys. I have no clue what's going on with the Yankees. Maybe it's all the road games, right? 30-26. Yeah, it's too bad you can't play every game at home if you're a Yankees fan. 41-15. But Evaldi going against Domingo Germán tonight. And Yankees are 31-15 against C-type teams this year. I probably lean towards the Yankees, but I tell you, I'll probably do it with my eyes closed. Philadelphia at New York Mets. We talked about that. That's a tough one, but I probably lean with the Mets. You got Seattle taking on Texas. You got Kirby against Hearn. Don't like that game. 192. Speaking of value, right? So I talk about the Rain Report. I talk about value. Minus 132 is the line here. There's my line, but 192 is the bookmaker's line. So they are way $60 over value tonight, and to me, not worth that price. As much as Seattle's turned it around the last month, I just don't trust them on the road. LA taking on Kansas City. I'm not laying 230 on the road, even though LA's a juggernaut of a team. Oakland, Houston, won't touch that. Milwaukee, St. Louis. I love the Cardinals here tonight. You got Montgomery, the old Yankee pitcher, going, and you got a team that's bullish now for 8 days in St. Louis, and you're going up against the lefty Lauer. I'm going to go with St. Louis here today, guys. I do like St. Louis at home, 34-20 against B-type teams this year, 14-19. Not a great record. That's the only thing that a little bit concerns me, but a little overvalued though as well. 50, and this is what we're talking about, the units here. 2 unit recommendation if you do like St. Louis. So I do like Atlanta and St. Louis tonight. Arizona, Colorado, C-on-C type crime. I don't touch it. Minnesota. This was an interesting one. Tyler Mahle going up against Sandoval for the LA Angels. The Halos, they're struggling. 4-11 against B-type teams. Even though they've been bullish, though, the last 2 days. I just don't know if I want to trust Minnesota on the road with Mahle. A 47.2% chance of winning, even a 47. So, yeah, I think I'm going to ride this one out. But if for bullpen picks, I'll probably put Minnesota. And then Pittsburgh, San Fran. I like San Fran, but I'm not laying 275. All right, let me see what you guys are saying right now. So let me go back on top here. I actually handicap my own, and if Ron's picks are agree, I take it. 17-3, just Major League Baseball. Wow, that's awesome. TDs. So TDS, NB 33R. I actually handicap my own, and if Ron picks, I agree. I take it. 17. That's a good record. 17-3. What is that? 80%. That's very good. It comes down to the matchup in sports. Yeah, like Ron always says, I want winners. Yeah,
I want winners.
I want winners too, Quez. All right, let me see. Part of this Lopez problem is that all the attention on Alcantara. Yeah, pride is a huge factor in success. Braves fan, and I was not happy with the trading out of Odorizzi. Ian for Odorizzi, but I got Atlanta on the run line. You know what? That's a good point. Lopez and but you know what? Who knows? It's a losing team, right? And the thing is, if you're part of a losing team, like in Miami, you wonder what the mindset is some of the player, right? But you're professionals. You got a contract, and maybe if you're on a losing team, you're always playing for your next contract. That's one thing I can tell you. Jose Barrios, 6-0 this season at home. Yep. That's another one. Toronto run line. I wouldn't trust Toronto right now, especially against a Cleveland team who can come in and they can score runs. Been better Braves a lot. Rangers on the run line. C-type team. Can't do it. Hey, as Mike Singletary would say. Yeah.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't bet the Rangers on the C-type teams. Hey. Braves over. After that, they get the bullpen. Rangers. Yeah, that's a great thing right there. So sometimes when I'm handicapping a game, and if I see two pitchers, like I'll give you an example. Kirby and Hearns, right? I just took it out of the blue. When I look at a pitching matchup like that, and let's say they're both losing records, ERA bloated, then I go to the percentage play. Then it comes to me, it boils down to the later innings, and Bill Parcells says all the time, you are what your record says you are, and I would lean towards the percentage play in that situation. Anytime you're handicapping a game and the starting pitchers are not a factor to you, for myself, I lean always to the percentage play. What is the percentage play that I've got? And then I look at the performance cycles. If they're neutral, bearish, but the percentage play plays a huge factor in my system. Braves over after that. War Eagle. We got Auburn Auburn, War Eagle, Bo Jackson. Okay, I get it now. Hey, Auburn Tigers. Yeah, I'll get that out. Peyton Sport, great to see you again. Says Mark Nations, just stab in the dark. Be careful betting money line. You don't like that home streak with Barrios, Ron? Yeah, you know what? I just the Blue Jays are not playing in a really good. They had those road games, and they're not playing good baseball right now. They've added too many players. I think it's okay to add one. If you're doing the trade deadline, you're adding a pitcher or a bat. But the Blue Jays added too many guys, and I think that affects the chemistry in the dugout. I think the Blue Jays overthought the trade deadline, and they They don't need Bradley Jr. Merrifield. Why would you go get those guys when you have a really good team? Even though, and you haven't. Let's be honest, you haven't given Kevin Biggio a lot of playing time this year, right? I don't know why they went out and got Whit Merrifield. Great player. Should have stayed in Kansas City, in my opinion. I'm on the Mets -5 run line, 5 innings, says Scott. I've watched +200 or better teams drop like flies since the break. Yep. I'm all over the Mets. 10-1 on the run line for the Mets. Keep an eye out on the Mississauga native Josh Naylor to go yard in this series, says Bo Jackson. And Bo knows. Mark Name, glad to see you. Yep, at the end of the day, you have to take into account that every one of these guys are professionals. Yep. Hey, I used to coach football with a guy who coached in college football, NFL, and one day we were talking, and I'm talking about we're talking. When I was coaching at university, and we were talking about players, and he goes, no, he goes, university and pros are two different things. Here in university, players they play for each other, and he goes in the CFL, NFL, they play for contracts. At the end of the day, you're hired to play for your contract. And the hardest thing for coaches to do in the NFL, CFL, professional leagues, is to get players to play for each other, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing well, that player's gone. And so is his contract, right? And then that's because they say, we can't justify paying $10 million for a guy who's batting 186, right? And I won't say no names. I won't say no names right now in baseball. There's a couple of players in baseball that I won't throw under the bus. But at the end of the day, it's in the pros, you play for a contract. And if you get a team that gels and they play for each other, but you know what helps gelling? Winning. Hey? As Mike, as Herm Edwards would say.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yeah, when you win, hey, everything is great, right? And the thing is, you can be on when we used to watch film in breaking down film for football, and one of my friends, Coach Breezy, used to say all the time, sometimes on film, when you win games, you're not as good as you think you are, and when you lose, you're not as bad as you think you are. And that's one of the things in sports. When a team wins, sometimes they're not as good as you think they are, and when they lose, they're not as bad as you think they are, right? So something to take away from the show, maybe, right? Little Ron Raymond wisdom there today. But yeah, so there you go. Little thing on that. Speaking of baseball, don't forget the top 25 sports betting market options. This is another one here. So, if you, I got this idea from Coin Market Cap. If you guys follow cryptocurrency, and one thing I like to do as an inventor or somebody who builds things, I love to look at other people's websites from different industries, right? And when I went to Coin Market Cap, I love the way the feel of the website is, and I said, you know what? I can do that same type of feel in sports betting, right? And the thing is, when I created this chart, I took everything that I believe, my belief system, and you can see that these are my top 25 sports betting options for today. Now, everything, if I do the power rating sheet, it would always be the Yankees, Dodgers, that would help nobody, right? Then you're standing picking, right? When what I call, you look at the standings and then you always put the top teams, right? But you go through cycles, and the way I do this chart here is through the cycles right here. So if you're ever wondering, okay, how does he rank his top 25 betting cycles? And I'll do Major League Baseball. So what you do is I take the cycles, the teams that are in good cycles. If they're A or B type team, then I'll take a look. First thing I'll do is I'll look at the cycle, the type of team, the value on that team. So -132, and the line is -192. So Seattle way overvalued tonight. But according to all the information that I give the database and the A, B, and C type teams, how they do against those A, B, and C type teams, the strength of schedule, then I can see how that team is in a nutshell, and then it'll tell me if they're a good value play for tonight, or if they're a good consideration, right? A betting option. And that's why you see the word here, top 25 betting option. These are not picks. These are the situational optional plays that if I were to bet these teams from a situational handicapping point of view, they're in a good spot for you to take tonight. And the top 5 in baseball tonight, Seattle. Now, the thing is, when I do this sheet, I don't look at matchups. Like sometimes people will say, well, Ron, say you got Texas number 2 and they're playing Seattle. Well, you got Seattle and Texas in the top 5. I don't look at the matchups. I look at this like stocks, cryptocurrency. These are all assets. These are all assets that I rank in the system, and then I tell you, like Seattle, that's a stock. That's an asset. It's a blue chip stock right now. Houston, an A chip stock. Tampa Bay, a blue chip stock. Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago. Those are your top 5 betting assets for tonight, and it's just another indicator when you're handicapping your games that you can say, you know what, every time you handicap and you like a team, you need indicators, right? Check, check, check. And if you get enough check marks, then you got yourself a confident play, right? So Seattle, Houston, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Chicago White Sox. It's too bad Atlanta and Seattle aren't there. In fact, Atlanta is ranked number 8. So those are my top 5 sports betting options for today. And in the CFL, Toronto, Winnipeg, BC, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, and Hamilton. Ooh, Hamilton, not good. Not good. Ranked last. Those are my sports betting options. All right. I love the auto clip-in break-ins. Yeah, you need a little bit of humor. I can't be 100% serious, right? Hey, as Ric Flair would say. Ron, sell me your tools. I'm this close to adding them to my investment overhead. Says TDS. Oh, nice. All right. Let me see here. Ron's Daily Picks. So yeah, here's another site that I operate. It's called bullpenpicks.com. Each and every day, I make my selections here, and I'm inviting you guys to go to bullpenpicks.com, follow my picks, go to most followed, and then you look for Ron Raymond. Not a good night yesterday. Ron wasn't too good yesterday. Follow my picks. I took some dogs yesterday and didn't work out, but Dom 5-2, Art 55 3-3, Reggie Vision 1-2. And let's make my picks for today at bullpenpicks.com. Now, the way this website works is that there's a slider right here on the desktop, and on a mobile device, there's a pull-down menu. You just put on your percentage play. So tonight, I'm going to go with Atlanta, 57%, with Odorizzi on the hill. San Diego against Washington. Corey Abbott looks like a rookie here, so I'm going to go Clevenger. I'm going to go 60% on the Padres. The only thing is they're minus 240, so I'm not going to lay 240 on the Padres. Okay. Let me see here. Cleveland. Let me see. Cleveland, Toronto. Man, this is a tough one. I just can't go against. I can't take Quantrill. I think the Blue Jays, if they can get to them early, it could be lights out. But a very low percentage, 55% on Barrios against the Blue Jays. 55%. Detroit taking on the Chicago White Sox. I'm going to go Kopech here, 57%. Yankees, I'm going to go with the Yankees, not strong, 54%. I think Nathan Eovaldi, let me see here, where's his numbers? 1-3 at home, 6.81 ERA, so I can't do it. Can't do it, as Mike Singletary would say. I'm going to go with the Mad Max, 54%. A lot of respect for the Rangers, the Rangers, Suarez, and the Phillies. They've been playing some really good. Again, if you're going to bet this game here tonight, and if you like Philly, take the run line. I think it's a 4-3, 5-4 type game. Tampa Bay, again, very small play on the Rays. I just got too much respect for the way Baltimore's playing right now. I'm going to go Seattle. I'm going to take Seattle. Let me see here. Did I take Seattle? Yeah, Seattle, 54%. I'm going to go Oakland against the mullet, Luis Garcia. I do like the Rays here. The Astros, 56%. Dodgers, Tony Gonsolin. What a season he's having. I'm going to go 63% on the Dodgers. I'm going to take the Cards. I love the Cards here tonight, 60%. I'm going to go Antonio Senzatella of the Colorado Rockies against Zach Davies. I'm going to go 58%. I'm going to go with Tyler Mahle, 52% with the Twinkies. And then I'm going to take Carlos Rodon, 55%. Click the save button and then save those selections. And those are my picks. Now, if you want to see my picks, all you got to do is go to following. And then you'll see my picks, and there's Magnums. And what I love about this website is that You follow other good people, baseball pickers, right? I call this the Twitter of baseball. You know how you follow people on Twitter? You can do the same thing here at Bullpen Picks. You go to the top scorers, the most followed, and you click on, obviously, the most followed or the top pickers because they do well, right? And then what you want to do is compare your picks with their picks, and it gives you a little bit of confidence saying, oh, right on, we're both on that same pick. Knowing that another good picker is on your side, makes you feel a little bit better or more confident on your selection. Let me see. St. Louis, 53%. And what about Atlanta? 53, 57. So, that's good to know. And streetcatcher.com. Streetcatcher.com, it's one play a day. And if you can get to 10, 17, 21 wins, you win some cash. And all you got to do is make your picks each and every day right here at streetcatcher.com. I don't know what I like yet, so I'm not going to put in a pick today. I don't want to force a pick in because my reputation's on the line here. Number one all-star picker of all time. So, I don't want to force it, right? Can't force it. And let me see here.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, hopefully we bring you some straight cash. All right, it's the one of the favorite segments of the show. You know what it is.
We sitting here, I supposed to be a franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. We sitting here, I supposed to be a franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. We sitting here, I supposed to be a franchise player, and we in here talking about practice.
No, we're talking about the 80% Club and fun facts department right here at atsstats.com. And in order to get the fun facts, the 80% Club stats, go to your dashboard, and then you go to your 80% Club stats, and then you go to MLB. And we have some of the top stats for today, August 12th, Friday, Friendly Friday, Football Friday, August 12th. All right, Minnesota Twins, 17-1. 17-1 as a 120-140 road favorite, coming off 2 overs since 1996. That's pretty solid right there. Angels, the unders, 10-1 for LA as a picking the 120 home underdog, coming off a game where they allowed 4 runs against the last 6 years. Dodgers 10-1 as a road favorite of 300 or more the last 4 seasons. Yeah, no shock there. Let me see here. The under 9-1 for the Bucks. Pittsburgh Pirates as a 220-240 road underdog against a right-handed pitcher since 1996. That is also solid right there. Mariners. If you do like the Mariners here today, they are 12-2 as a road team, as a road favorite this season, which is pretty impressive. I love this one. The Atlanta Braves, 17-3 as a 140-160 road favorite against a division foe the last 3 years. And let's finish on a high note right here. Let's get a good one. And let me see here. I like this one right here. Where did I see it? Right. The Rockies, 11-2 straight up as a home team, coming off 4 games that went over the total the last 6 years. And that is your 80% Club fun facts for today, August 12th. And hopefully, Blue Jay. All right, Blue Jay fan. Hey, Blue Jay fans will like this. The Toronto Blue Jays are 18-4 straight up this season as a home team, coming off a loss this year, so not too bad. All right, I've got a lot of money this season by living by the wisdom my own, that unless you are an Angels fan, Shohei Ohtani is the most terrifying player in the whole world of baseball. Do you agree? Yeah, I know he's good. The only thing is Shohei plays on the West Coast, and I don't see many of his games. Okay, I'm going to your side after this is over, says TD. All right, let me see. Hey, that was a good show today. I like that. That was a lot of fun. Hey?
Money never sleeps, pal. Just made 800,000 Hong Kong gold.
Yeah, money never sleeps, and the Rain Report never sleeps during the season. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in today, guys. Hey, we had a good time. This was a good show. Again, the objective of the show is to educate and help you with your sports betting needs and to learn the Rain Report sports betting system, and that is value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability / injuries, and use a very disciplined money management system. And again, if you follow the show for the first time, give it a few more shows, understand the system, and the system will protect you. And I saved a lot of money this year on really bad bets that I would have made just by following the cycles and not betting on bearish teams, right? The thing is, don't be a pick standing guy or a girl. Don't look at the standings and say, oh, Yankees, I'm going to take them today. We've seen what the Yankees are doing lately, right? They're not doing too well. But, yeah, follow the Rain Report. Again, if you want to be a member and of the Breakfast Club, you can sign up. It's only like $4.99 for the month, and working on some perks here for you guys. And it'll be fun during a lot of football season. So there you have it. That is the show for a Friday, a friendly Friday, August 12th. I'll be back here on a Cash Out Monday. In the meantime, shop for value, play those percentages, and as my good friend Harry Carey would say, take us out of here, Harry.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man.
Joe owned the Chiefs.
Owns.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Great cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here?
Woo! If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Hey, yeah, would you look over there? Big red lips, long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Hey, yeah, would you look over there? Long black boots and long square. Say, come here, baby, let me catch you stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Ain't no girl like, ain't no girl like that. No girl like that. I just want to talk to you. Want to talk to you. Come on, let's drive around. Take time down, fool around. Come on, let's drive around. Take time down, fool around. Hey! Hey, now, would you look over there? Big red lips and long blonde hair. Say, come here, baby, let me get you a stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.